Freedom. It's what I crave, strive for, and work for. Freedom is a difficult thing to achieve, especially at a young age. After graduating, we have all this pressure to go get a job and exchange our time for money. Tell me then, how will I free my time when I sacrifice my time to survive? This is simply not sustainable for the free man. Let me propose a solution. You have multiple streams of income that pay you each month. You have money put away in the stock market. You are being paid a set amount each month through dividends. You realize that time does not equal money for you anymore. You are free. Through investing in assets that will grow over time, we are setting ourselves up for financial freedom. This can look like many things, and in today's video, I'm going to show you the assets that I've invested in at age 20. Hopefully this can provide you a blueprint for investing as well as some entertainment. So here we are, back at my house. So I'm going to show you guys all of my investments, but I actually have a pretty wide range of investments, ranging from more traditional investments like stocks to like more obscure investments. So I'm going to start with the traditional investments and then move into the more obscure investments later on in this video. So the first investments that I'm going to go over are my stocks. So the majority of my stocks are held in my Roth IRA, which is through Vanguard. So let's take a look in there right now. Now I've only been investing in my Roth IRA for about 1 year, so it's not too big, but I do have a decent sized portfolio here for my age. So first stock we have is Apple. I only have 1 share of Apple, and I don't know why, honestly, I have 1 share of Apple. I just bought it and I didn't want to sell it, so I just have it there. And then recently, when Coinbase IPO'd after it fell, I bought a couple shares of that. So I have about $783 in Coinbase. And I don't know what my average price was, but I've done pretty well on that so far. Then I have Dropbox, which is $32 right now. I think I bought that around $25, so I've actually done pretty well on that, but I only have $250 of that. So that's not that much in Dropbox. I used to have a lot more over on Robinhood, but I sold out because I was moving. And now my favorite investment inside my Vanguard portfolio, which is Tesla. Now I bought Tesla at $1,000 a share pre-split. I remember driving home and I was like, dang, Tesla looks like a really good deal right now. I think it's gonna explode. So I literally transferred like $1,000 from my savings into my Roth IRA and then immediately bought 1 share of Tesla, which then blossomed from 1,000 to 2,000, then to 3,000, and then almost all the way up to 4,000, which was just crazy. And then the split happened. So right now it's around $3,000 worth of Tesla. I did sell 1 share at one point because I thought it was really overvalued. I sold pretty much at the peak, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I'm just holding these for the long run, and I'm honestly never gonna sell them. So the last investment in my Roth IRA is the Vanguard S&P 500, which is just an index fund. And I have that in there because I want the majority of my Roth IRA to just be steady growth over the long run. And that's what I recommend most people do, is just buy the S&P 500. And I have around $4,200 of that. So in total, my Roth IRA is worth $8,217.97. So the last stock that I have in this portfolio is outside of my Roth IRA, and that's just in my brokerage account on Vanguard, and that is Planet 13, which I got from Financial Education Jeremy, so thanks Jeremy. And honestly, this account I just do not touch. I literally just forget about it. It's the first time I've looked at it in like 6 months. All right, that was all my stocks. Now we're gonna move into crypto. Now, I personally believe in crypto over the long term. It's definitely a very risky investment, so I'm not endorsing it at all. But personally, I believe that it will perform well over the next 10, 20, 30 years. Now, I own crypto in 3 separate brokerages, and honestly, that's not on purpose. That's kind of just an accident. It just kind of turned out that way. I might condense them all one day, but for now it's fine. So the first brokerage that I keep all my crypto on is Gemini, and that is where I keep all of my Bitcoin. So I have around $767 worth of Bitcoin. And as you can see, that's just all Bitcoin. And I'm not actually earning any interest on that. I probably should be, but I'm kind of just leaving it there to do its thing. And that's okay for now. Now, I definitely believe in Bitcoin over the long term, but personally, I think Ethereum is going to do much better in these next coming years. So I have around $1,700 of Ethereum, and I'm up around 4% in total. I'm actually up a lot more than that. I think last month I bought Ethereum at around 1,800 and it went up significantly. So I'm actually up around 45%. I just sold at some point, so it doesn't show it on here. And I also own around $20 of Dogecoin on Robinhood. And I know that Robinhood is not the best place to keep your crypto. I just had money in there already and I was like, okay, well, I don't want it to just sit here, so I'm just gonna buy Ethereum because I think that's gonna do well. And it did. So in Dogecoin, I think I put around $10 and it's up to 15, so I made 55% on that investment. Honestly, just some play money, not much at all. I just wanted to do it for the memes, so I did it. Last and least, I have Webull that has around $230 in it, so not that much. And that's just some more Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't know why I have this in here, honestly. I just kind of left it and now it's in there and I just haven't transferred it out yet. I probably will at some point. That is all my crypto and stocks. So now let's move to the more obscure investments. So now we are upstairs and we're gonna get into the more obscure investments. So this means alternative investments like animals, art, and right now we're gonna do animals. So I actually invest in snakes, specifically breeding snakes, and I breed ball pythons. So those are a type of python, they're not poisonous, but you can genetically mutate them to get really cool patterns that sell for actually a good amount of money. So I've been breeding snakes for about a year, and so far we have not actually had a season yet. We've just been raising the snakes up and getting them ready to breed, but this year, in a couple months actually, it'll be our first season. So that is very exciting and I'm really looking forward to that. And the beautiful thing about breeding snakes is it is a crazy return on investment. One adult female can have up to 12 babies that can all be worth a lot of money, sometimes even more than the mom. Now, how you determine price when breeding snakes is all dependent on the genes that the snake has. So I'm not gonna go too deep into genetics in this video just because I don't think you wanna sit through that. I'm just gonna tell you the prices of the snakes that I have and then what I expect them to do for me in the future. When I first started breeding, I decided to invest a good amount of money into these snakes because the more money you invest into the snakes, the more money you get back. So I figured, why not just invest, a couple grand into these snakes? That'll give me an insane return on my investment. So I bought some of the snakes with the sunset gene, which is a really popular gene right now, and it's pretty expensive. I mean, a sunset snake can go for around $4,000 to $5,000. So if you're making like 12 of those, that's a lot of money. Now I don't have a full sunset snake, but I do have 2 het sunsets. So when I breed those together, they'll have a 25% chance of making a full sunset snake. So if I have 12 eggs, then probably 4 out of those 12 will be sunsets. These 2 het sunsets I paid $2,500 for, so these are by far my most expensive snakes. I paid $1,500 for the female and then $1,000 for the male. Other than the sunsets, I have some clown and banana stuff. And again, those are just the names of the genes. So in this snake, it is a banana inchy pied and his name is Butters. The banana is what gives him that yellow and also gives him those little black spots. The inchy just kind of reduces the pattern a bit. You can't really see it too well in the snake. And then the pied is what gives him all the white on him. So the pied adds the most value to this snake. The banana kind of ups the value because it's on top of the pied. And then the inchy is just an extra gene in there that might add like 20 bucks or something. I bought this dude for around $800 and he's probably worth around $1,000 right now because he's actually up to size and ready to breed. But once he makes me babies, he'll make me a lot more than if I just sold him at that $200 appreciation. But yeah, I have to say this guy is my favorite snake. He is just absolutely beautiful. And I think he looks better than all the other snakes. The next snake I own is a lesser clown and her name is Clementine. She is a female, so it's gonna take me about 3 years to raise her up to be able to breed. So after those 3 years, I'll be able to start making clown stuff. And clowns can be worth a lot of money because it's a recessive gene, which makes it more rare. Now this girl I think I bought for $700. So in 3 years, she'll have more than paid off that investment. I also own a few adult snakes. So these are snakes that are pretty much ready to breed. And these are the snakes that I'm going to breed next season. I have this bamboo pinstripe that I bought for around $600. I got a really good deal on her. She's actually worth more like $800 to $1,000, but I got her at a really good price. So my plan is to breed her to Butters, which is the banana pied, and then hopefully they'll produce me some really nice offspring. I also just have a completely normal adult female, which I bought for like 120 bucks off somebody on Craigslist. And I'm planning to breed her next season as well, also to Butters, because he'll pass over some of his traits to her offspring and they'll be worth about a couple hundred each. I also just have a completely normal male. These snakes that I purchased haven't really started paying me out yet, but over the next coming years, they'll pay me out a lot more than they're worth. I bought these snakes to help pay for my college, so most of the money is gonna be going towards that. All right, so that pretty much does it for the snakes. Now I'm going to show you my art collection. This is the last section of my investments. A lot of these are not worth so much money, but they still make up some of my investments, so I decided to include them in the video. This is a picture from Saudi Arabia, and I would value it at around $100 right now, maybe a little more than that, but I'm honestly just gonna hold that for the next 10 years and maybe it'll go up in value. I just like art, so if it goes up in value, if it doesn't really matter to me. I also have this painting, which is fairly large. I bought this off Craigslist for $10, and it is probably worth around $220. I got just an insane deal on it, so I got really lucky on this one. But I would encourage you guys to check out your local Craigslist, look up oil painting, and see if there's any super cheap large paintings, because I could probably sell this today for like 200 bucks. I also collect some artifacts, and this one is from Teotihuacan, Mexico. It was an Aztec city that has one of the coolest pyramids in Mexico. This is a terracotta woman from ancient Greece, and this I'd say is worth around 150 bucks. So not that much, but really cool, and I'm just gonna hold on to it. Same with the Teotihuacan one. And last but not least, I have some signed skateboards by Eric Costin and Steve Barra. Alright guys, that pretty much does it for my investments. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, if it inspired you, then I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything in this video, let me know in the comments below and I will get back to you. Thank you all, have a great day.